Hey, founders, Kirk Michie here, working our way down the funnel. If you're just joining us, we started with a process where you're curious about going to market and you want to know kind of how to get to the gating factors of making that decision. The next couple of things we went through were the middle part of the funnel, as we call it, where you're starting to make some logistical decisions about moving forward. And then at the bottom of the funnel, you're going to get really, really specific. So here we are in the middle of the funnel. So this is the second section of things. You've moved beyond your curiosity. You've got a sense of valuation. You have an idea of multiples for your business and, kind of how to think through all that. You've decided on whether you're going to retain an investment banker or a transaction advisor. Now, what's the process for selling your business? Okay, so this differs from investment bank to investment bank, from business brokers to investment banks, to unsolicited offers, to companies that are trying to do this on their own. But here's sort of the big picture idea. One, you've got to come up with materials that reflect the way your business is. And if they're really well done, they'll talk about a timeline. They will represent kind of key factors in your business, what your business actually is, what the transferable economics look like. Those will ideally be done based on professionally prepared financial results. So it's sort of the state of the business and then also growth opportunities and what the financials look like. At the same time, you're going to want to have a non-disclosure agreement in place so that anybody who wants to see that information, that deck you're going to send over, isn't going to reveal it to your competitors or to another buyer or one of your employees or one of your customers. Beyond that, you need to think through not only kind of forming the team, hiring the right M&A lawyer and sizing that appropriately for the size of your business. What we talked about last time about whether there's going to be a transaction advisor like an investment banker on the team, those things all have to be decided. And then as you're preparing these materials, there's got to be a buyer universe. Who are you going to reach out to, or who are your advisors going to reach out to figure out, who the appropriate buyers are. Now, finding those buyers aren't difficult. They're in databases. There's lots of information out there. They reach out to us investment bankers all the time. But knowing which ones to go to and how to go to them and whether to go to a few or whether to go to a lot, that's also part of the process, deciding to go. Then there's the outreach, all right? So once the materials are prepared, the NDA's in place, you start the outreach to that buyer universe, you provide them with information, you maybe give them access to a data room that you've prepared that has some other information, like more in-depth financials and some other key elements of your business, maybe an anonymized version of your top customers as ranked by percentage of revenue or profits, and a few other things like maybe an anonymized org chart. So you've got all that in the data room, you're doing this outreach. Beyond that, what happens is then you'll start to get either indications of interest, kind of informal, here's what we think the business is worth. Those might be a range rather than a specific number, and here's what we'd want to know to make a more fulsome offer. Or a letter of intent, something that's pretty specific to, we would pay X, it's based on Y, and we need to see Z, right? So in that process, you're going to get one or some offers, and you and your advisors are going to decide on which one you like the best or which few groups you want to get to know better. You might refine some of those offers. Once you've signed, both sides have signed that letter of intent, you move into a period of exclusivity. That's due diligence. That's when they're going to evaluate everything you've told them is true about the business. They're going to be doing risk control and confirmatory due diligence on their side. You're going to be complying with that. It's going to feel invasive and accusatory on your side, but it eventually ends. And when it ends, there's a closing of the transaction. Now, there's some other things that are going to factor in, whether it's a stock purchase or an asset purchase, whether you're going to have an employment agreement or a consulting contract, whether there's a transition services agreement, what happens with key employees, whether you're going to be merged into something else or stay independent. There's a whole bunch of other stuff like that. But from process, think material preparation and data room, exclusivity period, due diligence, closing. All right, so that's it for now. We'll keep moving down the funnel. Stay with us. Thanks.